Shalom, shalom. Want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. This the servants, right? We back at it again, right? A Sabbath class, beautiful Sabbath class to spirit, early Sabbath class, right? The Judge Eli on here, man, and we're gonna get into some history. You got it, King.
Hey, shalom, shalom, family, Shabbat, shalom. Yeah, just the brothers with the service, man, coming back at y'all with another exhortation, a history class, man, history time with the servants, man. So we excited, most high willing. You know, we got plenty more topics to go into, but tonight gonna be a good one, man. So just stay tuned.
Khan, I'll praise the Most High, right? So, the title of this lesson, right? We're going to the history of the 40 martyrs of Sebaste, right? The 40 martyrs of Sebaste. So we're gonna get into this thing, right? So first, let me get a preset to kind of kick this thing off, right? Get a preset and share my screen. Because we gotta understand that, you know what I'm saying, the things that happened before, right? It's nothing new under the sun, right? It's nothing new under the sun. And we gotta understand that. So I'm gonna get that precept through the spirit, right? In the book of Ecclesiastes. Right. Bear with me, I'm getting into it right now. All right, the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1 and verse 9. Right. And it reads, it says, the thing that have been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done, it is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Right. So we got to understand, right, the different accounts and things that our forefathers went through back then, and we're gonna go through those same things, right? It might not be the same exact thing verbatim, but it's gonna be something very similar, right? And a lot of our forefathers, a lot of prophets, right, men of old, hey, they got killed for the name of the Lord, right? They got put down, they got put to death, right? Whether it be getting a head chopped off, whether it be being crucified on the upside down cross, whether it be boiled in this big pot, right? Whether it be their skin getting peeled off. These different things happen to our forefathers. How much so us now? The same people that's professing to be God's chosen people, professing that we believe in Yahweh Shai, professing to keep these commandments. How much so us though? Right? Even though like right now, life is kind of smooth right now. We ain't got nobody on our neck right now. We ain't got the enemies putting their foot on our neck, right? Snatching us up. It's not happening right now, but that time is very soon to come, right? So just want to kind of put it out there. You had anything, King?
Let's get the book of Baruch, chapter 2, and let's go to verse 30. Well, now let's matter of fact, let's just go to Job 8 and 7. Salaki, let's go to Job 8 and 7.
Con, I got you, King. I got you.
Yeah, because the brother making valid points, man. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing new under the sun. But we also got to realize that, man, we was a destroyed people. And the reason why when we went into slavery, the reason why the slave master and the Edomites, they didn't want us to understand and read and learn how to read and learn how to understand, because they knew that we are God's chosen people. And the minute that we start to come back and learn who we are and start to read with comprehension, they realize we're going to figure out all the inventions and try the crafty counsels that they tried to do to keep us destroyed. And a lot of these things that happen historically, we won't know about them, because why? We won't know how to go and dig deep, do certain research to figure out what is this people, who is that people. So this is why this scripture is important. You know what I'm saying? It's the book of Job, chapter 8 and verse 7. It says, though thy beginning,
I agree for you, King.
I'll go ahead.
The book of Job, chapter 8, verse 7. It says, though thy beginning was small, yet thy latter end should greatly increase.
So the beginning of our rulership as a nation of Israel was cut short. It wasn't as long as we see all these other heathen nations ruling and reigning, right? But keep reading.
Con, for inquire, I pray thee, of the former age.
So Yahweh told us through the spirit of Job that what, as Israelites, we have to go inquire. We have to go do an inquiring. We have to go do research of what? The former age. We got to go look into the history and the accounts with the Bible, and then go into the history that man have documented and realize, like, hey, man, we got to put some pieces together, right, Reed?
Con, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers.
And we got to prepare ourselves to find our forefathers in history, see the role that our forefathers played in history, whether it was something that was monumental or it was something tragic, you know what I'm saying, tragic, you know what I'm saying, read.
It says, "For we are but of yesterday, and know nothing, because our days upon the earth are a shadow."
Right, but watch this though, read the next verse.
Shall not they teach thee?
So when you go into the history, you open the Bible up, you go into these historical accounts. Shall they not teach you the historical things that God was doing back then? Read.
Con, and tell thee.
And tell thee, meaning what? Assure you to let you know that we are the Israelites. Align the pieces together and see where the confusion was created, and also figure out how to better explain it to who? The people who might not know, right? Keep going.
Con, in other words, out of their hearts.
And we'll begin to utter words out of our heart like we're gonna do tonight. And when we close and bring out this history, man. But that's it, Ken. You got it.
Con. Hey, the brother brought out a mighty point, right? So we're gonna go into this thing, right? And, and also I want to bring out this precept too, right? In the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4, right? It was a classic precept, but we gotta understand, right? Our history has been forgotten, right? So I'm gonna get this real quick. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4 says, "And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage," right? And we gotta understand that our heritage, our history, right? We don't really truly know that, right? Why? Because the so-called white man, the Edomites, right? They have stripped us from that. So right now, they tell us in history class, right, that and even right now to this day, right? I just seen a post not too long ago where they're trying to say, well, slavery really didn't even happen, right? We didn't really go through slavery, right? The slaves that was living this during those times, they had the best slave quarters, they had good food. They're trying to fix a history that never happened. But as of now, our people don't really know what happened. They don't really know where they come from. They don't really know the kings, the priests that we had, the different rulers that we had, but they also don't know the different men of the Lord that stood 10 toes down for the commandments. They don't know these things, right? So we as men, Lord, now we're going to get into these things. We're going to dive in deep and show our people, hey, these are the same people that you come from. The same people that gave their lives for Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh, we come from those same people, and we can very much do those same things, right? If Lord put that in our spirit, right? But we can go ahead and we gonna dive into this thing though, man. So I don't know if you want that article first that you had sent me.
So first, I'm finna send you another article because I want to go into something. What we're gonna go into tonight, right? As they can see for the title, you know what I'm saying, martyrs. You know what I'm saying, people who was martyred, right? And what we're gonna do is, but first, I want to go into this article right here. I'm finna send it to you right now. You know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing new under the earth. You know what I'm saying? There is no new thing under the sun. And I think if you type that in, it should come straight up as it is, right?
I'm about to do it right now.
All right.
But you got it, King, right now.
Yeah, so when you look into the history of the world, right, there has always been one particular people that when you know what I'm saying, when you look at them, they have always been oppressed. They always have been killed. They always have been unjustly done. Evils have happened to these people throughout many generations. No matter what title or name you put on these people, these particular people, you know what I'm saying, will always, I'm talking about always be able to stand out, right? So before we go into that article, bro, can you get the book of Deuteronomy 28, verse 46?
I got you, King. I got you.
We're just gonna touch on this real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because this is something that's going on in today's time. You know what I'm saying? These things are still happening, because a lot of people are starting to feel like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, the world is better now. Racism still doesn't exist. Hate crimes for the Lord's people doesn't exist. And it's kind of going to tie in a little bit, if you know, about what we about to go into tonight. So read that real quick, brother.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 46.
Right.
And it reads, "And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever."
right? And he said these curses that he put on our people was going to be upon us for a sign, for a wonder, and upon our seed forever, right? So now from there, get Leviticus 26 and verse 17. So he said he was going to put curses on the Israelites forever. So when you look in the world today and you go throughout different countries and you see certain people just getting killed, they're getting slaughtered at a rapid rate, you got to understand who these people are, right? So watch this, read this verse.
Con, the book of Leviticus, chapter 26 and verse 17, and it reads, "And I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies.
He said he's
They
going to set
that
his face against the Israelites and they were going to be slain before their enemies. Read, watch this.
they that hate you shall reign over you,
Read.
and ye shall flee when none pursueth you."
Now watch this. So now when you think about that, he said the Israelites was going to be slain before their enemies, right? So now let's go into this article, King.
Con,
Now read that title right there for him.
Con, a silent genocide is unfolding in Congo.
So
Church
if you
sources,
go ahead, finish it off. My bad.
church sources warn.
So it said a silent genocide is unfolding in Congo. Church sources warn. And when you look at them people, right, that the people that they showing, you're gonna realize something that a lot of the people that's in the Democratic Congo Republic, a lot of them favor you so-called Negroes who dwelling and pondering and living your best life in America, right? And you're gonna figure out something that's more so physique about these people, because if you know history, you know that the people of the Limba tribe or the Bantu tribe, those are Israelites. Those are people who are living in Eastern Congo or Northeastern Congo. You know what I'm saying? And these are our people, right? It's our people living out there. So now let's see what this genocide, this silent genocide is taking place at. So read down on that a little bit, Ken. We just gonna do a little reading on it.
Con. Did you want me to read the caption
Uh,
or the
you can
photo?
if you want to. You can, you want to.
Con, I'm gonna read it real fast. It says a child stands next to a police officer as displaced families wait for food at Rugombo Stadium in Burundi, February 28th. So as you see, this is a child, right? It says displaced families, right? That's also part of curses that the brothers on talking about as well, right? And they're waiting for food. But we're gonna jump down real fast and read this. It says a silent genocide mimicking the Rwanda one in 1994 is
Right.
occurring in Eastern Congo.
In Eastern Congo. Now, if you go look up on your phone what the people dwelling in Eastern Congo, you're gonna find out that it tell you that, bro, the Bantu people, which are the Jews, are dwelling in northeastern Congo, right? So now watch this. Can keep reading on that.
It says, said some Catholic church sources, as shock greeted the killing of 70 people in the Protestant church in the North Kivu province.
Right.
The victims were found beheaded with machetes February 15th near the Mwebe village in Lubero, a district close to the border between Rwanda and Uganda.
Right.
According to the fights, a news agency of the castery of evangelization, many of those who died in the massacre were women, children,
women and children, read,
in the elderly, and had their hands tied behind their back. You want to keep going, King?
Yeah, now you got to keep going on there. Just read that part at the bottom. You right, go down a little bit more where it said Allied Democratic Forces.
Okay, I got you. It says Allied Democratic Forces, an Islamist group originally from Uganda and aligned to the Islamic State group, is believed to have carried out the unalivings.
Right. So now when you think about this or this unalivings, right? We ain't gonna go too much into this article. We just want to put it out there for the people who might not know. Go read up on this, man. Our people are still getting afflicted, unalived at a rapid, vicious rate throughout the world, not just over here, right? So you know what I'm saying. Get one more precept for me, bro. Let's get the Lamentations chapter 5 and verse 1. Because there's also another article that's surfacing the internet right now about this same condition in Congo, but it's not going into the killings. It's going into the rapid diseases that's going at an all-time high throughout the Congo, right? So read that real quick, King.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 5, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, O Lord, what is come upon us. Consider and behold our reproach.
So the Bible tells us to pray to the Lord for mercy and tell him to remember. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Yahweh, what has come upon us? When you look at this, man, you got 70 people, men, women, and children, and elderly getting beheaded, man, getting their heads chopped off, my hands behind your back, getting unalived. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Not just a couple, man, 70 people getting rounded up at 2-3 hours through 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, right? Watch this. Jump down to verse number 5.
Verse 5. It says, our necks are under persecution.
Right?
We labor and have no rest.
And throughout the world, our necks are under persecution. People are getting persecuted for what they believe in, right? And when you look at what them people got beheaded for, the reason why I want to let you know they got beheaded by people who believe in what? Islam. They got beheaded by Islamite people who practice Islam, some Islamic demons. These people got beheaded for the faith that they hold strong to. Now we know that, you know what I'm saying, when we read the Bible, understand the Bible, that what? You know what I'm saying? Christianity is of who? The Esau, our damn oppressor. But when you still think about it, these same people who fit these curses in the Bible, they still getting beheaded for false gods and false deities. So, you know, I just wanted to bring that history out, or bring out what's going on in the world out before we get into the topic. But that's all I had on there, unless you got a precept, King.
Con, I want to get something in the book of Deuteronomy, when it was saying this right here, this right here, and this also shows you that these people also are the Israelites, because they also connect with these curses, right? So I'm gonna get this. Says Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 50. It says, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. And you see what was going on. It said women, children, and the elderly was unalive, right? And it said a nation of fierce countenance, right? And so we see, right? Because you got to understand that it's just not the Edomite that's against us. There's other nations that's against us, right? You see the people of Islam, right? They're against us as well, right? And they're unalive with our people over there in Congo. But that was it. I just want to bring that out.
All right, come. So yeah, if you want to go and get into that article, we can go and get it cracking real quick, right?
Con. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the one that you had sent me.
All right.
Con.
So when you look at this, right, you go down for me a little bit. It says this is gonna be read that part right there. It says,
I can read that. It says 40, no 39, no 40.
Right. And then hold on, before you go back up real quick, so let's see where we get this information from. Scroll up a little bit. Right there. No, go back down.
Okay.
Right there. What does that say right there under the date?
It says, look at this Russian icon.
So it says, look at this Russian icon. So when you think about the 40 martyrs of Sebaste, right? When you go look at this documentary, or once looked at it in the past, right? What we look at is, oh, these were Christians. And for who you think about? You think about pink-skinned Christians who got killed unjustly for their Lord and Savior and for the word, right? But now Russian icon finna expose something. Now go on, scroll down. Let's see what these people who got, you know what I'm saying, martyred at the Sebaste really look like. This is a true depiction of these people. This is from the Russian icons. You know what I'm saying? And you know, if you want to, we can read in on it a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? You can go and read into that, King.
Move up. It says, even without the inscription, it is immediately identifiable to an informed student of icons, because the scene is so distinctive. Nonetheless, let's look at the title inscription. Here it is in modern Russian fonts.
Right.
And so this is what y'all see right now, the different fonts that they got, and they got it translated right here. It says, the holy 40 martyrs at the Sebaste Lake martyred.
Right. And you know, when you look into that, you read the article, it'll just keep going into the article. But I'm gonna let bro flow how he want to flow. If he want to start it from here, or started from there. But what we wanted to show was these people who got martyred at the Sebaste Lake, they were Israelites, man. They were dark-skinned people. They weren't, you know what I'm saying, pink-scaled and what the world want to portray to them as today, right? You know what I'm saying? Let's get a quick precept on that, though, bro. Let's get the book of First Maccabees, chapter 3, and verse number 48.
Con, I got you, King.
Yeah, let's get this, man, because you got to realize something. Why is it that these people want to cover these things up, man? Why is it that they just can't be truthful and keep the pictures how they were? But why they got to put another face on there, right? Read that, brother.
Con, the book of First Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 48. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
And that's what they even do with historical atrocities. Even when it comes to Israelites getting killed and getting martyred, they still want to paint the pictures of those men and act like it was them that did a mighty act and a mighty account, right? You know what I'm saying? And they the damn devils, and it's the lie. And that's why the Lord said he was going to give us this information. And this is why the scriptures tell us, inquire of the former age, so we can know the truth. And you know what I'm saying? Be able to expose the lies. Man, but you got it, King. Go on, get into it.
Con, that's a bit. So like that's not what I was looking for. So the brother brought out a mighty point, right? Mighty points, right? So I'm gonna read a little bit on this article that he had brought out, and then I'm gonna go to another article that we got. But it says, so this icon depicts the 40 martyrs of Sebaste martyred at the Sebaste Lake, or simply the 40 martyrs of Sebaste, as they are commonly called, according to their story. The 4th century ruler, Licinius,
Yeah,
wanted.
Licinius.
Say what's again? Licinius wanted to rid his army of Christians. In Armenia, a military commander named Agricolas was unhappy with 40 soldiers, all Christians, who refused to sacrifice to the god. Right. This was, and I want to stop right here. This also puts you in the mind of our forefathers, right? Who, off the rip, who I think about Daniel, right? When everybody wanted to serve that idol that Nebuchadnezzar had put into spot, right? Hey, Daniel was like, hey, I ain't doing it, right? And what did Daniel have to go through? He had to get put in the lion's den, right? He had to get put in that lion's den. And through the spirit, a lot of us, hey, we're gonna get put in the lion's den because we're not gonna fold. We're not gonna turn our back on Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, right? But if you have something you want to say, King, I'm gonna keep on reading.
Go, you got it.
Khan, it says, in Armenia, a military commander named Agricola, whatever their name is, was unhappy with 40 soldiers, all Christians who refused to sacrifice to the gods. This was a major issue in those days because refusal to sacrifice not only made Romans think the Christians were atheists, but also that they're revolutionaries, because traditionally it was the gods who were the support of the state, right? And this just it's crazy, but this is what's to come. You know what I'm saying? These people gonna make us. They're gonna make you feel like you don't believe in God because you don't believe in their gods. But we are not to worship their gods. We are to worship the God of the Israelites, Yahweh, right? Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah. So the times to come, right? What's one of the main gods that that Babylon want us to worship? I'm gonna show you, right? You gotta understand this. You gotta understand this. What was before is to come, right? I'm gonna show y'all this. This is the God of Babylon right here, right now, right? This is the God of Babylon right here. This man here, right? This is the God of Babylon, right? This is the God of Babylon. Now I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna go to this precept. I'm gonna show y'all, right? These nations. I just want to bring this precept out in the Book of Wisdom of Solomon. Solomon, chapter 14. Right? These nations. They want you, when we go into captivity, brother, these nations always want us to serve their God. But even though we in the land of our captivity, we still have to serve Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We can't consort or conform to the ways of these different nations, man. Right? Let me jump down. This let me get this right here. This book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 15. It says, "For a father afflicted with untimely mourning," right? And this going to that Pope, Pope Alexander VI, right, King?
Yeah, Khan, that's right.
Con. It says, "When he have made an image of his child soon taken away." What was that image? Sebaste, right? I'm gonna show y'all. Okay, it says, "Now honor him as a god." So it could very well come to where they look at right now, even now, they look at Sebaste as a god, but he's just a man, right? It says, "Which was then a dead man, and delivered to those that under him ceremonies and sacrifice. Thus, in process of time, an ungodly custom grown strong was kept as a law." That's Christianity, right? And that's the same thing that's happening in this time right now, right? Back then, right? Now and back then, when the so-called white man came in and we were slaves and he was beating us down, lynching us, putting them shackles on us, putting his elbow on us, and he was telling us, "Hey, this white man, this your God. This who you need to worship." Right? That's the same thing also when Daniel was in the time of Babylon, right? When Nebuchadnezzar put up that image and said, "This who you need to worship," right? And Daniel was like, "Hell no, I'm not doing that." Right? Hey, that time is coming again. What are these heathen? They're gonna oppose a God on us, right? And gonna they're gonna want us to worship their God, right? And we gotta stand 10 toes down for the law, statutes, commandments, and for our God, not their God, right? It says, "Thus in process of time, an ungodly custom grown strong was kept as a law, and engraven images were worshipped by the commandment of kings." Right? So this is the same kind of spirit that was on earth then, right? They wanted our forefathers to worship their God. They said, "This is a law. This is what you have to do. If you don't do this, then this is going to happen to you." Right? So I want to kind of get it in your mind to understand this. Right? So we're going to go back to this article. That's why I want to bring it out, because they said this is a major issue. And that's just like a law. A law is a major issue. If you break a law, it's a major issue. So that's why I want to bring that out. Right? It says, let's go to it. It says, this is the next paragraph in the article. It says, "As punishment, the 40 soldiers were led in winter out onto a frozen lake and made to remain there through the night unless they gave in and made appropriate sacrifice and inviting bathhouse." Right? And I want to go for this step by step. Right? It says as a punishment, right? And when you look into the accounts, like for instance, in the book of 2 Maccabees chapter 7, right? When you had those different when you had those brothers, they had the chance, right? They had the chance to say, "Well, you know what? Hey, boom, we gonna conform to your gods," right? But they also was laid before them punishment. Either they gonna do it or they not. If they not, then they gonna get punished, right? And so I just want to, if you have some, King, you can bring it out. But I had some I want to bring out.
Yeah, come. Before we do that, right? Let's dive back to you looking your stuff. I'm gonna read it real quick, right? So let's go back to Wisdom of Solomon, and I want to get verse 13, chapter 13, verse 13, right? And it says, "And taking the very refuse among those which serve to no use, being a crooked piece of wood and full of knots, have carved it diligently when he had nothing else to do," right? "And formed it by the skill of his understanding and fashioned it to the image of a man." So, you know what I'm saying? This is prophesying, talking about a certain man who was going to form an image and form this image after a man, right? And it says next, "Or made it like some vile beast, laying it over with a vermilion and with paint, coloring it red and covering every spot thereon." So this image that this man took and made, right? he made this image a red man, right? So now also when you going into this real quick, once you get where you're gonna go to, right? I want to go back to the roots of this, right? Because to help you brothers and sisters understand this article, you got to understand what is who the Christians that they're talking about, or the Christians that they're referring to during this time of the Roman Empire, right? Was it just talking about the Christians that you see today? Was he talking about Christianity today? You got to understand, prior to, you know what I'm saying, Licinius doing what he's doing, right? There were persecution of the Christians prior to the 40 martyrs at the sea baths, right? And you know what I'm saying? We're gonna get into that. I'm gonna let Brooke bring out what he's looking for, but then after that, I want to take y'all back a little bit and take you in the time to see the origins of all this stuff, right? So go ahead, King.
I want to bring out this, right? This the book of Second Maccabees, chapter 7, and it says, I'm gonna start at verse 16. And it says, then looked he unto the king and said, Slaki, not that, okay. It says, and after him also they brought the six, who being ready to die said, be not deceived without cause, for we suffer things for ourselves, having sinned against our God. Therefore marvelous things are done unto us. Because I want to be understood that we have sinned against the Most High. So a lot of people, let's say, why I gotta die for this truth? Why I gotta give up my life for this truth? Why I gotta do this? Why I gotta go through this? Why did they have to go through that? But understand, right? It says we have sinned against the Most High, right? We have sinned. It says, therefore, marvelous things have been done unto us, right? But think not, it says, but think not thou that thou takest in hand to strive against God, that thou shalt escape unpunished. Right? I want to read down to the youngest son, right? It says, it's verse 24. Now Antiochus Antiochus, thinking himself despised and suspecting it to be a reproachful speech, whilst the youngest was yet alive, did not only exhort him by words, but also assured him with oaths that he would make him both a rich and happy man. Now I want y'all to pay attention to that. That's the same kind of spirit, right, that these people is moving in the fourth time in this article that we're talking about. I'm gonna read this thing. Says an inviting bathhouse was fired up upon the shore with warm water. That's the same kind of speech. It's saying, listen, man, hey, if y'all just denounce the name of the Lord, y'all just say y'all not Israelites no more. Just say y'all don't believe in the Lord no more. Hey, this is what we got for you. Man, we got riches for you. We got gold for you. Same kind of spirit in the time Maccabees. I'm going to read it again. It says, while, on Flock, let me show it so y'all can see what I'm talking about. It says, whilst the youngest was yet alive, right, did not only exhort him by words. So he was exhorting them. And that's, hey, the enemy might bring that upon you. They might talk real, they going to exhort you, kind of lift you up, tell you this, tell you that. And it says, but also assured him with oaths. Right, so they might make an oath at you, man. They might say, man, listen, you do this, man, we got you. We're going to take care of you. We're going to take care of your family. Y'all going to have some food. Y'all going to have some water. Y'all going to have some places to lay your head. It says that he will make him both a rich and happy man if he would turn from the laws of his fathers, and that also he would take him for his friend and trust him with affairs. So that's what it's going to come down to. You know what I'm saying? Are you going to trade in for oath, for riches, for glory, to turn your back on the laws of the Most High? But there's just something to kind of meditate on. But we going to get them more into that. But what you got, King? What you want me to
All
do?
right, so real quick, I want to go into some real quick, right? So let's first, because we talking about the 40 martyrs at Sebaste, right? Mm-hmm. So first, real quick, let's go to the book of Acts chapter 8, verse 1. And then I want you to pull up, you still got them articles from last week, right?
Con.
Okay, con. So I want to get Acts chapter 8, verse 1. And then after that, I want you to pull up that article, that website, an article about what landmass Sebaste would be in biblical terms.
Con, I got you, King.
Con.
All right, it's the book of Acts, chapter 8, verse 1. And Saul was consenting to his death, and at that time there was a great persecution against the church.
Right. So hold on. real quick. So he says, and Saul was consenting unto his death, right? Who are they talking about? The death of our fellow Israelite brother, right? And at that time, there was a great persecution against the church. Who would be considered the church in this topic? Those who were followers of Yahushua, those who was teaching Yahushua, right? When you read in the chapter previous to this, you read about how Stephen got stoned, right? It's letting you know that those who were following Christ were getting persecuted greatly throughout Israel, throughout Jerusalem, right? So now watch this. Keep reading on that, Doc.
Con. It says a great persecution against the church, which was at Jerusalem.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all scattered abroad throughout the regions of Judea
Against
and
who?
Samaria.
Hold on, read them parts again. Against where?
And they were all scattered abroad throughout the regions of Judea and Samaria.
And Samaria, right? Watch this.
Con, except the apostles.
Except the apostles. So we're gonna stop right here, but we're gonna come back to this. So now pull up one of them articles you got about what land would Sebaste be, because you got to realize certain things happen for a reason, right?
Con, that's right. That's right.
It should be with King Herod, and how King Herod. Wait, I'm gonna let you get do your thing.
No,
right?
I got it.
Okay,
I got it. Right here. So we got it says Herod's temple at Sebaste, then and now. It says King Herod, and this is we got a source right here. If y'all see it right here, this BiblePlaces.com, right? So it says King Herod built a magnificent temple in Jerusalem, but not as many people are aware that he built 3 other temples in the land of Israel, all to Gentile deities. The ancient capital of Northern Kingdom, Samaria, was renamed Sebaste by Herod.
So hold on, wait a minute. So you telling me that this article is telling us that the martyrs that took place of these 40 people took place in Samaria? All right, let's keep reading. Okay, we're cooking with fish grease now. Come on.
It says it was renamed Sebaste by Herod in honor of Emperor Augustus, and he constructed a temple here dedicated to the emperor.
So he said he dedicated this temple. Herod dedicated the temple in the city of Samaria and named it Sebaste in honor of Augustus. Right. So now watch this, bro. Watch this. So now you gotta ask yourself, how did Herod gain possession of the land Samaria? Real quick, King. Can you give me the book of First Maccabees, chapter 10 and verse 29? You know what I'm saying? And this is how, when you read Job 8 and 7, it tell you to inquire of the former age, right? Inquire of the former things, right? Watch this.
First Maccabees 10
and verse 29.
29, got you. Share my screen, okay. The book of First Maccabees, chapter 10 and verse 29. And it reads.
Start at verse 28. Start at verse 28. So this is, and you know what I'm saying? This is King Demetrius. When you look at verse 25 and you read on down, you read this on your own terms, right? This is King Demetrius writing to the Jews, trying to persuade us, right? Watch this.
It says, and will grant you many immunities and give you rewards.
Right.
And now do I free you. And for your sake, I release all the Jews from tributes and from customs of salt and from crown taxes.
Watch this.
And from that which appertaineth unto me to receive for the third part of or the seed and the half of the fruit of the trees, I release it from this day forth, so that they shall not be taken of the land of Judea, nor of the 3 governments which are added thereunto out of the country of Samaria in Galilee, from this day forth forevermore.
So read, watch this.
Let Jerusalem also be holy and free, with the borders thereof, both from tents and tributes.
Right.
And as for the tower which is at Jerusalem, I yield up authority over it, and give the high priest that he may set in it such men as he shall choose to keep it.
Right.
Moreover, I freely set at liberty every one of the Jews that were carried captives out of the land of Judea into any part of my kingdom, and I will that all my officers remit the tributes even of their cattle.
All right, so read. So that's it on that. So the reason why we pulled this right here is to show you during this time, during our wars with the Grecians, right, and the Egyptians, all these people of Alexander the Great, you know what I'm saying, 4 generals, right? You see here that what this King Demetrius granted Jerusalem that it'll be free. But what regions did he give us? He gave us Judea, Samaria. You know what I'm saying? So a part of this agreement that he was trying to make, you know what I'm saying, with Jonathan, he gave Jonathan and the Jews at that time governance over what? Samaria. So now when you go back, you know what I'm saying, you read that Sebaste is Samaria. So now, what people were dwelling in Sebaste at Samaria? You had Jews and the northern kingdom of Israel with other Gentiles, right? So now let's go back to the book of Acts, chapter 8, real quick.
Connor got you, King.
So now the whole point of the matter is now you realizing when you read about the Sebaste, the martyrs in Sebaste, you realize that the land of Sebaste is really, you know what I'm saying, the land of Samaria, right? Now watch this, read.
It says, and devout men carried Stephen to his burial and made great lamentation over him.
Mm-hmm.
As for Saul, he made havoc of the church, entering into every house and hailing men and women, committed them to prison.
Right?
Keep going.
Yeah. We getting somewhere.
Con. It says, therefore they that were scattered abroad went everywhere preaching the word.
So now when you think about the city of Samaria and the regions around it, right? You're gonna read about something else. Now read this, keep reading.
Con says, then Philip went down to the city of Samaria and preached Christ unto them.
So now you read about how Philip went round and round, right? Preaching Christ unto who? The people of Samaria. So now watch this. Now we're gonna jump over, right? We're gonna We're gonna do a little jumping real quick. Go to the book of Acts, chapter 18, real quick. The book of Acts, chapter 18, verse 1, real quick. No, before you go there, Acts 11:27. Because I want to make a point here and build something. Because a lot of people feel like when they hear the word Christian, they think of what these people or our oppressors, the religion that our oppressors have started. And you got to understand that during this time and age, that title Christian was only referred to one particular people, right? Read that, brother.
I'm going to go to verse 26.
All right.
The book of Acts, chapter 11, verse 26. And when he had found him, he brought him unto Antioch. And it came to pass that a whole year they assembled themselves with the church and taught much people, and the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch.
So the disciples of Yahushua was called what? Christians first in Antioch. So when you read about Christians in this ancient world during the time of the Roman Empire, the people at that time always knew that what? The people that they were referring to were who? The Jews that believed on Yahushua. Those were the Christians, the followers of Christ, right? So now let's get to the book of Acts chapter 18 and verse 1.
I got you. The book of Acts chapter 18 verse 1. It says, after these things, Paul departed from Athens and came to Corinth.
Right.
And found a certain Jew named Aquila, born in Pontus, lately come from Italy with his wife Priscilla, because that Claudius had commanded all Jews to depart from Rome and came unto them.
Right. So why did he do that? Because during this time there was a lot of confusion in his provinces of what? Israelites or Christians, you know what I'm saying, causing uproar in the city of Rome with the false gods and the false deities, right? You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand that. So watch this.
We going on that?
Huh?
Keep going on that.
Nah, that's it on that. No, that's it on that. That's it on that. So that's it on that. Right? I'm gonna let you get back to it, but it's a certain thing I'm looking for real quick.
I got you, King. So while the brother while the brother is looking for that, let me get back to this article that I was reading that and then understanding too, like the brothers bringing out, the first Christians were the Jews, people that followed Hamashiach, right? We have to understand that. So when you read the Bible and you understand who the Christians were before and who they are now, the God's people, the Jews. But Makita says Samaria Sebaste was first excavated by Harvard University from 1908 to 1910 under the direction of George Andrew Rissner. The photo below shows the foundations of Harvard's temple shortly after those excavations, right? And these are for those people that will say, well, hey, the Bible it's just a book of fairy tales and stories. No, it's a book of truth. There's actual evidence that supports the Bible, right? And you read about King Herod, right? You read about him in the Bible, right? And you read about Samaria and things like that. You also read about you also hear about Paul and Stephen where he was buried at and things like that, which was Sebaste, right? And we're gonna get into that, you know what I'm saying? Let me know if you found what you're looking for, King. I was gonna keep going.
Yeah, con. So real quick, the last thing I wanted to show them was right before we get into, because I feel like before we go into the martyrs of the Christians, who were the Christians in Samaria, we should say, or Sebaste, right? Real quick, if you go to 2 Corinthians 4:22, right? You read this letter, you know what I'm saying? But when you read at the bottom of this letter, matter of fact, you ain't got to pull it. But I want to see, can you see it, right? You see what their writing says right there?
We can kind of, I want to see if we can make it.
It basically lets you know.
I put you can put it back. It says the bottom part.
Yeah.
It says the second epistle unto Timotheus, ordained the first bishop of the church of Ephesians, was written from Rome when Paul was brought before Nero the second time.
Right. So when you go into Nero, right? When the people go into Nero, who was Nero? You know what I'm saying? You got to understand who was Nero, and not only who was Nero, but what role did Nero have in persecuting the Christians, right?
Okay.
So if you go into that, right, look into Nero in the let me see, it should be the Great Fire in Rome or something like that.
Said the Great Fire in Rome.
God.
I look.
When Nimrod set half of Rome on fire, right, for the sake of time, but during this time was around the same time that Paul was still alive, right? And what Nimrod did in around 66 AD, right? Nimrod started putting persecutions on the church, and he was the one that when he brought Paul amongst him again and locked Paul up again. You know what I'm saying? Not only did he lock Paul up again, but he also got Paul killed and beheaded. And he's the one that started the persecutions of the Christians all the way up into the time right before the people of Sebaste almost got, you know what I'm saying, before the time the people of Sebaste got martyred. You know what I'm saying? You still on the screen, King?
God, I was looking into the I got them if you want me to break them out.
Yeah, come, but I can't see you though.
You can't see me? Kind of got
No,
you.
it's just showing me. Yeah, there we go.
Hold on. Let me let me get this right quick. There we go. We back at it now.
All right. So when you look at this, man, this man right here, Nero Claudius, right? Where is it? Yep, right there.
Where you want me at?
Where the first Jewish-Roman war.
Okay, what paragraph is it? Okay, I'm trying to look.
Go back down. You went too far up.
Okay.
Right, that during Nero's reign.
Okay, I got you. I see what
And then you see right there where it say the Jewish-Roman war.
Kind of got you, King. It says during Nero's reign, the general Corbulo fought the Roman Parthian War of 58-63 and made peace with the hostile Parthian Empire. The Roman general Suetonius Paulinus squashed a major revolt in Britain led by Queen.
Right. But Salaki, read, I just want the part where it said the Bosporan kingdom was briefly annexed to the empire. I'm going to read it real quick. And the first Jewish-Roman war began when the Roman senator Vindex rebelled with support from the eventual Roman emperor Galba. Right? So it says Nero was declared a public enemy and condemned to death in absentia. He fled Rome and on the 9th June AD 68 committed suicide, right? But now let's jump down. It says most Roman sources offer overwhelmingly negative assessments of his personality and reign. Most contemporary sources describe him as tyrannical, self-indulgent, and debauched. The historian Tacitus claims that the Roman people thought him compulsive and corrupt. Suetonius tells that many Romans believed that the great fire of Rome was instigated by Nero to clear land for his planned golden house. Tacitus claims Nero was Tacitus claims Nero seized Christians as scapegoats for the fire and had them burned alive, seemingly motivated not by public justice but by personal cruelty. You know what I'm saying? So when you look into this, Nero was one of the ones with dementia and, you know what I'm saying, leading up to the burning of Jerusalem, right? Because the people that they look at as Christians, right, it was the people that was confessing Yahweh as their Lord and Savior. It just wasn't Jews. If it was just Jews, it would have said it. But the reason why in this context it uses Christians is because it was those that was following Yahweh. So this is why Nero used them as a scapegoat, because in the region of Rome that was already hated anyway, right? So now can you look up one more person, bro, before we go back? Look up Constantine. You know what I'm saying? Because when you look up Constantine and you go look into the Nicene Creed, the Council of Nicaea, right? Constantine, you know what I'm saying, on side of Licinius, you know what I'm saying, they were counterparts, but also end up going to war with each other, right? But Constantine was the one who introduced Christianity in the Roman Empire as the Romans' religion, right?
Con. I got you. This it says Constantine, Flavius Valerius Constantinus, right? I'm gonna skip over that part. It said, also known as Constantine the Great, was a Roman emperor from AD 306 to 337, the first Roman emperor to convert to Christianity. He played a pivotal role in elevating the status of Christianity in Rome,
right?
Decriminalizing Christian practice and ceasing Christian persecution.
So when did the Christian persecution begin? During Nero's time, right? Who did Nero persecute? The Israelites, the real Jews who followed Yahweh, right? Now you can keep going on that.
It says this was the turning point in the Christianization of the Roman Empire.
Right.
He founded the city of Constantinople and made it the capital of the empire, which it remained for over a millennium.
And it reigned as over a millennium now. So now you can go back to the article and touch back in that. But when you're looking at this article about the 40 martyrs of Sebaste that took place in the land of Samaria, you got to understand that the people who are classifying themselves as Christians there were people who was brought and taught their religion during the time of Paul's journeys, of the disciples journeying throughout those lands, teaching those people that we are the Israelites and that Yahweh came to save us. So when you look at that term Christian in the ancient world during this time, right, you always, and people or biblical scholars that really know, they know that these people that was called Christians during this time were who? Israelites who followed the teachings of Yahweh. But you got it, bro.
Con. That's right. Very vital and good information. So you ready for me to jump into the article, King?
Con, the floor is yours.
Con. So, like the brother brought out, man, we gotta understand what's going on, right? And I'll praise the Most High for those mighty points that the brother brought out. So, I want y'all to see this image of Salakia. I'm sharing this image, right? This is the article, right? But first, if y'all remember when we first started on, right, the brother, we went to this first article. Let me see if I can find it. If I can't find it, I'm not gonna worry about it because I got a hell of tab. Yeah. I want to show y'all this. This the pictures with the Russian icon put up, right? The Russians put this out. Not we didn't put it out, the Russians put this out. This is the image of the 40 martyrs of Sebaste, right? Sebaste. Look at that, right? Now, you see what they have here on this article right here. And this is from the early church history site. So boom. Y'all see the image they got, but y'all see the actual true image of what they would have looked like. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into this article. Right? It says the 40 martyrs of Sebaste in modern day Turkey were soldiers in the Roman 12th legion called Fulminata, the lightning or thundering legion. Some believe the legion was given that name by Marcus Aurelius after he experienced the miraculous rain event in 169. According to Saint Basil's homily in the 40 martyrs delivered 50 years after their martyrdom. These holy martyrs suffered at Sebaste in the Lesser Armenia under the emperor. What's that you said again?
Licinius.
Licinius in 320. They were different. They were of different countries, right? And that's a pivotal point. I just want to bring this precept out. It says they were of different countries, right? And we go to the classic precepts. Dang, Salaki, y'all, bear with me. My this is Satan. Bro, my screen. You see, is it showing right now?
It's showing the 40 martyrs of Sebaste.
Yeah, my screen. Satan, bro. Dang. My laptop just froze, bro. It's crazy, yo. That's crazy, yo. Okay, now it's back. It's back. I'll praise Messiah. That's madness. Okay, so I want to just bring this quick point out. It's James 1:1. It says, James, the servant of God and of the Lord, Yahweh Shah Mashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. So understand, right? And also during this time, the Israelites were scattered abroad, right? They was in different countries. That's why when Paul on his different journeys, he went to different countries. He went to Asia Minor, he went to Rome, he went to Galatia, he went to all these different places. Why? Because the Israelites were scattered abroad, right? So then when you go into the this article, when you hear about it, says they were of different countries, understand that the Israelites were of different countries, but they end up, these martyrs, right, that was from different countries, they end up coming together under this the rulership of Licinius, right, and joining his army, right? It says, but enrolled in the same troop were of the thundering legion, so famous under Marcus Aurelius for the miraculous reign and victory obtained by their prayers on orders of their emperor Licinius for all to sacrifice to the emperor. These 40 went bold up to their commander Lysias and said they were Christians. and I just want to bring out this precept though. It just made me think about this. It's so crazy, yo. This be Satan, bro. Golly, that's crazy, yo. I want to bring out this precept. I want to bring it out to y'all. It's either I'm gonna refresh it, try to refresh it. If it's not refreshed, then I'm gonna just read it out my Bible. This Satan, bro. I was gonna bring out second Ezra chapter 2 when it said those that stood stiffly for the name of the Lord.
Let me you want to see? Can I share my screen?
Oh yeah. See if you can do that. I don't know why my junk freezing, bro. That's Satan. See if you can share your screen. Is it letting you do that? Oh yeah. Okay, Khan, yeah. All praise the Most High. All praise the Most High. All right, so the brother bringing it out.
All right, so Second Ezra chapter 2 and verse 47. So he answered and said unto me, it is the Son of God whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord.
Right. So what Edris seen, he's seen our forefathers, those people that was crowned by Yahweh Shah, right? And these people, they stood stiffly for the name of the Lord, right? And you see the same spirit, right, in the 40 martyrs of Sebaste. You see that same spirit. It says it says, read again, it says, and they said they were Christians, right? And we know they didn't say it like that. You know, we the followers of Yahweh Shah, right? You know what I'm saying? Hamashiach, right? But they stood stiffly. That's what need to be understood, right? So just like that being said, when that times comes, we got to be in the same spirit, just like these 40 martyrs, and stand stiffly for the Lord. Hey, I follow Yahweh Shah. Yeah, I follow this Bible. Yes, I do. Right? We got to be in that same kind of spirit, Lord willing. Right? But it says, and they said they were Christians, and that no torment should make them ever abandon their holy religion. That's a mighty spirit to have on you, man. And that's the same kind of spirit also in the book of Maccabees, Second Maccabees chapter 7. They was in that same spirit as well. Hey, our forefathers have a history of dying for the Lord, right? That spirit was in them. But that same spirit gotta be on us, Lord willing, right? Because we are those same people. We are them same people. We descend from those same people, those same men. If you had a point, King, you got it, King. I'm gonna keep reading.
All right, Con, I was trying to help you and find this article, right? But real quick, I want to make this point too, because it brought up y'all Licinius, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you is it showing it?
Yeah, you go ahead. It's showing it.
Well, it's showing. Let me see. All right, so when you look at this, right, it's going into Licinius, right? So it says Valerius Licinius was a Roman emperor from 308 to 324 BC. You know what I'm saying? And what we read about earlier, Constantine was also that, right? So it says for most of his reign, he was the colleague and rival of Constantine the First, with whom he co-authored. So he co-authored the Edict of Milan, right? And the Edict of Milan was February AD 313, agreement to treat Christians benevolently with the Roman Empire, Western Roman Empire, Constantine I, and Emperor Licinius, who controlled the Balkans, right? So it said that they had co-authored agreement or a peace treaty with who? The so-called Christians, right? That granted official toleration to the Christians in the Roman Empire, right? So when you look into this, right, and what we're going into, right, you see, and once you look at the research, and if you know, you got to know and understand that Constantine, on one part, he's seen a deeper vision, right? He said, man, you know what? It wouldn't be such a bad idea to adapt the Christian's religion and turn it into a Roman religion, right? Because there's more truth to it. We can just put our twist and our kick on it and bring it to ours. But you know what I'm saying? Licinius, he really was more so on the pagan worshiping side. And that's why when you look at these things, right? This why when we go into this article and we finish reading, you find out the reason why he wanted these people to get martyred, right? Because what he really went down with it, right? But you got it, King.
And I wanted to dang, you go back, King, real fast.
Okay.
I wanted to bring out let me see if I can do it again. I want to bring out a valid point that I just seen when you brought that out. Because when people go to war with different countries, you know what I'm saying, a lot of times they would take the army that they defeated, they would gather those people into their army. They'll join those people to their army, right? And that's also going to what we talking about, how this relates to Sebaste being a part of actually being Samaria and things like that. When you go down, you can scroll down, Big King. It was a little bit more right there. In this paragraph, it says, upon his return to East Galerius, it elevated Licinius to the rank of Augustus in the west on 11th November 308, and under his immediate command were the Balkan provinces, uh, Ilisum, Thrace, and Pannonia. In 310, he took command of the war against the Samaritans. Right, so understand that the Samaritans were overcome. It says inflicting a severe defeat on them. So he ended up taking war on the Samaritans, right? So after he defeated the Samaritans, right? Some of those Samaritans end up joining his ranks in his army, right? But that's what I just want to bring that part out.
You can start back sharing your screen.
Con, that's a bit. Can you let me go back. Okay, there we go. All right, Con. So boom. All right, we was at it says and they, so y'all got the backdrop, brother. He put y'all on, right? So we gonna go back to this. It says, and we back at this paragraph right here, this portion right here. It says, and they said they were Christians, and that no torments should make them ever abandon their religion. The governor finding them finding them all resolute, right, caused them to be torn with whips and their sides to be rent with iron hooks, right? So you gotta kind of understand what was going on, right? They was absolute. But when you think about this is one precept that just made me think about this. It's a classic precept, though. I hate when technology act like it don't want to work right, but it's acting right now. But I want to bring this precept out. This made me think about this. It says, Revelation chapter 10 and verse 2 and 10 says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Right? Understand that, you know what I'm saying? It's a vital reason why we going. It's one, we going into, so y'all can understand the history of our forefathers, right? Also, too, to relate to the time that's to come. Understand, just like how our forefathers was unalive for this truth, and we also through the Spirit gonna be unalive for truth. Now we don't know, it's gonna be us, y'all. We don't know, but understand there are going to be some men that's going to be unalive for the truth. That's for a fact, right? It's going to happen, right? The Bible, the scriptures tell you that off rip. Anyway, it says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer, right? Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and that ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So the scriptures tell you, hey, we got to be faithful unto death. We got to keep going in this truth unto death. And you got to understand, these men was faced with death, right? And straight out the bat, hey, they went through tribulation. It says, so this my screen again. It says the governor finding them all resolute, caused them to be torn with whips and their sides to be rent with iron hooks, right? So I'm gonna see if I can get a visual. Let me see. Whips with hooks. These men got whipped with hooks, man. Like that. That's crazy. That's crazy, but that's what our forefathers went through, man. It wasn't a light walk. Let me see that we can find it. If we can find it, if they got it, they got it. They don't. You know what I'm saying? But they got different kind of whips. They're actually there's actually they don't have what I'm looking for. They got different whips, but there's actual articles, if you look into them, that actually show you the different whips that they had, and they had hooks on the ends of them. But that's basically what our forefathers got hit with, though. So I just want to call y'all to understand, like they went through some stuff for real though. For real. But let's keep on reading on this article. It says, the governor highly offended at their courage and that the liberty of speech with which they accosted him devised their extraordinary kind of death, which being slow and severe, he hoped would shake their constancy. Right? And the time is going to come where Satan going to try to shake you up, man. He's going to try to shake your faith. He's going to try to make you, man, just fold, just fold. These heathens, they're going to do that. Hey, they're going to come with you with all kind of stuff just to try to shake you up, to really see, are you really in this truth? Do you really want to die for the Lord? They going to see. They want to see. Just like how they did before in the times of old, right? I'm going to read that again. It says, the governor highly offended at their courage and that liberty of speech which they accosted him, devised an extraordinary kind of death, which being slow and severe, he hoped would shake they hoping, man. Right, but we gotta continue to be 10 toes down for the Lord. It says the cold in Armenia is very sharp, especially in March. It said, and toward the end of winter. There was also at that time a severe frost. Under the wall of the town stood a pond that was frozen so hard that it would bear walking upon with safety. The judge ordered the saints to be exposed quite naked on the ice. So they basically made the men strip down. You know what I'm saying? That's Esau. That's a devil for you, man, to make you expose yourself, man. That's just madness, man. Anyway, it says, in order to tempt them the more powerfully to renounce their faith. It says to tempt them even more powerfully to renounce their faith. So you're going to have in the times to come, right? Hey, these nations, hey, they're going to want you to renounce your faith. Esau going to want you to renounce that you was in this truth. They're going to want you to renounce the name of the Most High. They want you to renounce the name of his holy begotten son, Yahweh Shah. They going to want you to renounce it, right? Just like how they did our forefathers, right? And that's what's to come, right? You got to ask yourself, man, am I ready for something like this, man? Right? You got to self-examine. But I want to bring out this precept. Let me think about this. Matthew 10 and verse 28. Right? Matthew 10 and 28. It says, and fear not them which kill the body, right? But are not able to kill the soul. It says, and fear not them. So, these heathens, they might can take our body, right? This flesh, it's nothing. They might can take us out. They might can kill this. But we don't need to fear them, right? What it say? But rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. See, the Most High, he can destroy your body and your soul, right? He can do both, right? These heathens, that's all they can do is kill the flesh. But the Most High, he can do both. So we don't need to be worried about what the heathen can do to us. We need to be worried about what the Most High can do to you, how he can judge you, right? How he can cast judgment upon you, right? So that's something to think about, right, in the times to come, right? But I'm gonna keep reading. If you got a point, can you just let me know?
You got it.
You say, King?
I said, nah, you got it for now, King. Go ahead.
Con. It says, what was that? It says the cold in Armenia is very sharp, especially in March and toward the end of winter. And there was also at that time a severe frost. Under the wall of the town stood a pond that was frozen so hard that it would bear walking upon with safety. The judge ordered the saints to be exposed quite naked on the ice in order to tempt them more powerfully to renounce their faith. A warm bath was prepared at a small distance from the frozen pond for any of this company to go to who were disposed to purchase their temporal ease and safety on that condition. The martyrs, on hearing their sentence, ran joyfully to the place and without, hey man, this is so mighty, right? They hearing like, hey man, boom, this is gonna happen. Hey man, y'all got to go out here, y'all gotta do this. Y'all got basically y'all got to die. This y'all about to be put to death, right? But y'all also have an option though. You don't necessarily have to die right now, right? And you got this one bad waiting for you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna bring up the count, but it also makes me think about 2 Maccabees chapter 6 when Eleazar he was presented an opportunity that, hey man, you ain't even got to eat nothing unlawful. Man, all you gotta do is just you can eat whatever is clean for you. You just gotta act like that is pork. That's all you gotta do. But he was also presented with the option, and that's what these heathens do. They try to present you with, say, man, you don't necessarily have to go through this. All you gotta do is just renounce the name of the Lord. All you gotta do is just do something that's contrary to the law, statutes, commandments. That's all you gotta do. Then you ain't gotta worry about it anymore. So they move like that though. But anyways, look at the spirit of these brothers, man. It said they ran joyfully to the place and without waiting to be stripped, undressed themselves, encouraging one another in the same manner as usual among soldiers in military expeditions, right? So they end up exhorting one another, man. Right, that's so mighty. It says attended with hardships and dangers, saying that one bad night would purchase them a happy eternity. Man, 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 that's so beautiful. I want to get this. I want to get this in Revelation chapter 6, man. Dang, that's mighty, man. They understood. They was in the spirit though, man. They understood. Like they said, I want to just get this. This I'm gonna get this in let me get this in Revelation 6 and 10 says, I'm gonna read verse 9. It says, and when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God and for the testimony with the help, right? And that's going to happen in the fifth seal, right? They're going to have people that's going to be slain for the Lord, for the word of the Lord. And understand this, we're in the fourth seal now, right? The fifth seal is soon to come, where there's going to be persecution of the saints, where people is going to be unalive for the word of the Most High. Straight like that. It says, and they cried with a loud voice, saying, how long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? In white robes, this is the point that I wanted to get. And white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them. So that's the point I want to get. These men, right, that died for the Lord, they received white robes. They got the kingdom. Straight up, they got it. They got it. So the martyrs of Sebaste, they understood this. They understood this, that, hey man, this one bad night that we might be unalive, hey man, we gonna get that crown. We gonna get that eternity. We gonna get the kingdom. That's what they understood, man. Let me read that again. We back at the article. It says, saying that one bad night would purchase them a happy eternity. It says the guards in the meantime ceased not to persuade them to sacrifice, right? So at the time, right, you gotta imagine they going through it, and then the guards, they sitting in this pistol. So they probably was talking crap to them. Man, y'all still out there on that ice? Y'all still trying to serve the Lord, man. Look at this, man. We got our coats on, we got food, we got hot chocolate, whatever. We warm right now. Y'all still freeze for the Lord? Or they probably even ask you, where is your Lord? Just like how when Yahweh Shah was getting you know what I'm saying, persecuted. Or if you the son of God, then why won't you come off that cross? Right? Why won't you send down legions of angels? And that could happen, but you get what I'm saying. Like, they gonna be talking crap. They might be talking at you, you know what I'm saying? Poking at you, right? Trying to persuade you, right? To turn over, to fold. But it says, of the whole of the number, only one had the misfortune to be overcome. a centennial was warming himself near the bath. While he was attending, he had a vision of blessed spirits descending from heaven on the martyrs. The guard being struck with the celestial vision and the apostate's desertion was converted, threw off his clothes and placed himself instead amongst the 39 martyrs. So hold on. So if y'all not paying attention, if you're paying attention, right, it's saying that one of the dudes basically end up, one of the martyrs, he end up folding, right? But I wanna if you got some, let me know, King. But I'm about to get an article. I got another article, and this article is going to tell you what happened to that guy that decided to, you know what I'm saying, I can't do this. You know what I'm saying? Dying for Lord. I just can't. It's not for me. It's not for me. For the guy that folded, I want to show y'all what happened to him when I pull up this article. But if you got some, King, let me know. If not, I'm gonna go ahead to this article.
All right. So real quick, while you looking for that, right? Let me see some. I'm gonna try to. Well, I'm gonna let you put it up because I don't want to mess it up with us kind of taking turns sharing the screen, right? Go to 2nd Ezra chapter 16, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I'm saying? So for this brother, right? This one brother who was like, oh, this is not for me.
Hold
right?
on. You can try to do your screen. I'm gonna give it to you.
All right, come.
Come on, my phone, my laptop here right now.
All right. Boom. So, you see it?
It's up there, King.
All right. All right. So now we're gonna go here, right? So I'll pray to the Most High. My big shout out to my brother Ephraim. He showed me how to use multiple tabs on this thing. I'm outside, bro. So now watch this. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 68, right? It says, "For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols." So in the situation of the brothers, right, they was in a situation where they wanted them to serve idols. They wanted them to worship idols, right? And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. So when you think about the brother that he's about to look into, right, he felt like, oh, I can't do it. Hey, this ain't for me. I'm gonna go and fall out the way. And a lot of Jakes think they can do that, man. The last day, Jake think when Esau come with the pressure, Esau come drop the dime. Hey, man, you know what? Esau was just playing. This not for me. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to go ahead and go on by my business. But no, man, you still going to get judged, right? So watch this. This is the book of Matthew chapter 24 and verse number 10. And it reads, "If thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small." So if you a brother or you a sister who's standing 10 toes down for the Lord, right? You acting like you about it like Master P. Hey, you ready to die for the Lord. And the scripture say you faint in the day of adversity when stuff hit the fan. He said your strength small, man. Your faith is small. Everything you so-called stood on in this truth, man, don't mean nothing at this point, right? So now watch this. I'm going to show you something. So then we're going to go to the book of Matthew, right? Chapter 10. And when you read here, when you read at the caption of this caption, it says a hard road before them. So why are we bringing this out? What's the point of us bringing out this history of the 40 martyrs at Sebaste, right? And I got another one we're going to go into after this, right? But matter of fact, I'm going to save this. I'm going to save this to afterwards, right? Because I want to bring up another article of some old martyrs that happened in Sebaste, right? Prior to this one. But I want to give it back to bruh because I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to change the dynamic because we still talking about martyrs and we still talking about history that happened in Samaria. Matter of fact, I'm not calling it what Herod called it after Augustus, man. We're going to call it what it is, right? Samaria, right? But when we go, oh, hold on. I'm jumping the gun. Hold on.
God, I got you.
Yeah.
Hey, the brother making it out, man.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give it back to you. I can go and bring out what you was gonna get into.
I got you, King. I got you. Right. So and beautiful precept that brother had brought out. So y'all see
Hey,
what it is. You know
hey,
what I'm
real
saying?
quick, King. If you got multiple tabs pulled up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go to present, then click on share screen. And when
Mm-hmm.
you get to share screen, just click window. And you will
Hold
see
on.
the one that we on. You click on that one and then just go to the articles and stuff that you want to bring out. So that way you ain't got to keep, you know what I'm saying?
So it said go to window and just it should be it.
Now,
Okay. It
yeah,
says
now you're cooking with fish grease.
God, okay. Let me see. Let me try this one out. Okay, hold on. Oh, that's fire. Okay, dang. God, I'll praise Most High for that, man. God, it's showing up too. You can see it, King.
Yeah, con can't look good. I see everything.
God, I'll praise Most High. All right, so boom. It says, dang, let's see. It was just over here. Oh yeah, sorry. So it says among the confessors. I'm right here, y'all. I'm right here. If y'all can see, I'm right here. It says right here. This is what I'm reading right here. I'm going to read this account. It says among the confessors, one yielded, and leaving his companions, sought the warm baths near the lake, which had been prepared for any who might prove inconstant. Upon immersion into the cauldron, the one who yielded went into shock and immediately died, got unalive. So he got immediately unalive. So he thought that, hey, and that just made me think about this precept in 2 Maccabees chapter 6. I'm gonna bring it out. But when you thinking that you might you like, yeah, I'm gonna be straight for this little moment where I could just live a little longer, right? And you think that, right, but then immediately Lord unalive you just like that, right? Let's see. Bro, this is crazy right now. My laptop freezing right now, so you got a
Con,
key.
let me get back on there real quick, right? Yeah, see the devil trying to throw my brother's spirit off, man. You know what I'm saying? Pivot off over there. He trying to do his thing, and Satan don't like it, right? So now watch this. Let me show y'all something, right? On what we going through right now. So let me see. All right. So what we about to read about now, we still talking about the land of Sebaste, right? Or Samaria. So now this is another article from the Russian icons, right? The icons and their interpretation, right? So now when you go down, it says the 5 martyrs of Sebaste, right? In the previous posting, I discussed icons that are fixed groups of saints. It says groups of saints, right? So hold on real quick. Let's do some soul searching real quick, right? Who are the saints? Who are the people that dignifies or labels themselves as the saints, right? Let's go to this real quick. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 50 and verse 5. And it reads, gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice, right? And when you keep going down, it says, and the heavens shall declare his righteousness, for Yahweh is judge himself, Salah. Verse 7, hear my people, hear, O my people, and I will speak, O Israel, and I will testify against thee. I am Yahweh, even thy power, right? So now, when we go back over here, we know that the saints that is referencing to are who? Israelites who are being persecuted in Sebaste, right? Or modern term, Samaria. It says, the same saints shown together from icon to icon, though their arrangements may vary. Today we will look at another such fixed group icon, the five holy martyrs of Sebaste. In Greek iconography, they are the holy 5 martyrs from the Sebaste. We're not finna read that heathenish writing, man. We don't know. Stop it. So no, keep going on this, right? We just read about this, but I want to show you the similarities, bro, and how the holy 40 martyrs weren't the only martyring that went on in the land of Sebaste or Samaria, right? So it's going into the same thing. Sebaste is a town in Armenia, which you may recall from a previous posting about the icon type, the 40 martyrs of Sebaste, right? And now when you look at this one, look at these depictions. Look at the depiction, right? These damn devils, like we showed you earlier, the brothers who was of the holy martyrs, the 40 martyrs of Sebaste, you seen that they were dark-skinned people. But now I want to show y'all something, right? And maybe it's just me. Ain't it ironic that when you look at these brothers, right? Look at these pictures. Some of these people look like they got froze.
God.
You know, one of them got the little doggy hair, but one of them got like a woolly hair with the beard. Look at the faces, but look at the hands. Look at the hands of that devil. That's some brown skin hands, if I may say, right? But that's needless to say. Let's keep going. Watch this. So it says, the example shown is a pleasant Russian icon from the last period before the resolution. The saints depicted are from left, you know what I'm saying? It's naming the people, right? And then when you go down, it says, hold on, let me get to it. All right. It says this is a good place to point out that in church Slavic saints names ending in "n" when used of saints found in the old Greek saints list commonly replace the original Greek name ending. And when a Greek original has the letter combination AV or EV at the beginning, it becomes in Slavic AB or EB. That is helpful when trying to find equivalent names in one language or the other. So it's basically letting you know it's a distinction between certain people who had certain names, right? But let's get to the point. These 5 saints of Sebaste were said to have been martyred by the governor Lysias. The governor Lysias for confessing Christianity, quote unquote, near the beginning of the 4th century. The later account of their individual sufferings from the Synaxarian or Nicodemus, the Hagariah, died 1809, goes into graphic detail about the tortures they underwent. But that is a characteristic of a much high geography, and we need not dwell on it. Here, Nicodemus, by the way, was also the editor of the best known work of the Eastern Orthodox spirituality, right? But when you go into this, right, it was an additional 5 other Israelite people or the holy martyrs or saints who got martyred or got killed in the land of Samaria, right? So now let's get some precepts, man. Let's get some precepts. So when you look at this, right, the commonality of all this, right? What's ironic about this, right? You know what I'm saying? When you go back to what we read earlier, right? So let's go back to what we read earlier. Let's go back to what we read earlier. All right. So now when you go back to what you read earlier, right? And you know, you go into this, the penalties of disobedience to the Israelites, right? It says, verse 26, Leviticus chapter 26, and verse number 17. Yahweh said, and I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies. So when you look at it, brother, Israelites were the ones that was prophesied that they were going to be slain before their enemies, right? And they that hate you shall reign over you, and you shall flee when none pursueth, right? So when you look into this, right, when you look into the history throughout the world, right, it was always one particular people, you know what I'm saying, whose possessors always enslaved them and enslaved them, right? So now let's read this precept real quick, right? When you go to the book of Psalms chapter 44 in verse number 11, it says, thou hast given us like sheep appointed for meat, and has scattered us among the heathen. So when you go into these martyrs of Sebaste, right, what is it talking about, man? It's letting you know that the same people who are dwelling in this Roman army then doing the 40 martyrs of Sebaste are in the same relation to these same 5 holy saints who were killed under the governing of Lysias for what? Professing their faith, right? You know what I'm saying? And when you look at it, these people got renamed, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? And realize that what? The Israelites had to go through these things, right? So now let's go back to this one, right? The book of Matthew, chapter 10, and verse number 16. And remember the title of the topic at hand, what Yahushua is about to go into. It says, a hard road before them. Who is the them? The Israelites. There's nothing new under the sun. So during the time when Yahushua walked the earth all the way up until now, he said these things were going to happen, right? So watch this. He said, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. But beware of men of your own race, nationality, and also men of other races and regions, right? It says, for they will deliver you up to the councils. What happened with the 40 holy martyrs, right? They got delivered up to who? Licinius, right? Because why? They didn't want to form themselves or commit themselves to what? The pagan gods, right? They didn't want to bow down and sacrifice and worship these pagan gods, right? And watch this. It says, and ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my name's sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles, right? And watch this. It says, but when they deliver you up, take no thought or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. That's why when my mighty brother Ahlayah was bringing up what these people were saying, and now in these language terms in modern day time, they want to make it seem like what? These people sitting here talking about Christianity topic. Oh, you know, the Jesus Christ, the pink guy. No, they was talking about Yahushua. The religion that they was talking about was the customs of the Israelites. We don't bow down and worship the false gods or false deities, right? They were following out the Yahushua, right? For it is not ye that speak, but the spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. And you know what I'm saying? That's why, you know what I'm saying? When you look at this, bro, this is why the Bible was going into that. And that's why when you even jump down, it says, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. But he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. That's why when you look at these 40 martyrs and these 5 martyrs, which is 45 Israelites, you know what I'm saying, who got killed for confessing their faith in Yahushua. Yahushua told us back then, if you endure to the end, the same gonna be saved. And it says, but when they persecute you in this city, flee ye into another. For verily I say unto you, ye shall not have gone over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man be come, right? And now I want to make another point. You got some, King?
No. You got it, King. You got it, King.
Let's make another point real quick, right? Because a lot of people like, all right, there's good history and stuff like that, right? But what this got to do with me, right? So now watch this. You know what I'm saying? Now watch this. I went, let me jump over a chapter, right? Now watch this. Deliverance from captivity promise. Because the brother went into Revelations earlier and told you that in the 5th seal that what? The Israelites were going to be martyred for the word of the Lord, right? Watch this. It says, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, and verse number 1. It says, the word that came to Jeremiah from Yahweh, saying, thus speaketh the Lord God of Israel, saying, write thee all the words that I have spoken unto thee in a book. For lo, the days come, said the Lord, that I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah, said Yahweh, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it, right? So now this is what? This is talking about what? Yahweh telling Jeremiah that what? It's going to come a time where, hey, I'm about to get ready to bring the Israelites back to where they came from. I'm about to end their slavery. The slavery is almost over, right? Now watch this. And these are the words that the Lord spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus said Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hand on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. For it shall come to pass in that day said Yahweh of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck and will burst thy bonds and strangers so no more serve themselves of him. So what was the whole point of bringing this out, right? The same brothers and sisters that's going on the highways and hedges, right? I mean, the brothers, I should say, right? That's going on the highways and hedges and doing what? Declaring this Bible, declaring this truth. The Bible is telling you that the same thing, the same persecution that these people went through and they overcame, right? Hey, you got to do this same thing, right? You're going to have to go through this same problem. You're going to have to go through these same trials, right? Let's keep going. Let me show you something. Let's go into this, right? So this is what's going to happen. This is how the persecution of the church or the persecution of the holy saints are going to be in the last days, right? So it says, for behold, we're going to go back to 2nd Ezra 16 and 68 again, right? And this is starting to become one of my favorite precepts in a weird way, because why? Every time I read this, I prepare myself that, hey, as Israelites, we got to prepare ourselves for the persecution that is to come, right? And as a matter of fact, we read this already. No, I'm going to start at verse 67. It says, behold, God himself is the judge. Fear him. Leave off from your sins and forget your iniquities to meddle no more with them forever. So shall God lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. So when you think about this, right? When you think about this comparison, right? This is what's crazy, Ahlayah. Isn't it similar or funny that the same people who was martyring these people back then are the same the descendants of the people who ruling over us today, right? You know what I'm saying? So when you think about that, right? And it said, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you being idle with things offered unto idols. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. So when you think about it, when you think about the times of Nero, all the way up until Constantine and Licinius in the Roman Empire, there was always insurrections and persecutions against who? The so-called Christians, which only means what? Followers of Christ, right? And who are the followers, the real true followers of Christ back then and today? It's the Israelites. It's the men and women of the Lord who are following Yahushua and the word of Yahushua, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, in spite of no matter what nobody else got to say, right? But look at what the way that he said the people was going to be like us, right? He said they should be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear Yahweh. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen. So this is why this was important, right? So when you look throughout history, the Bible always repeats itself, right? When you look at the people who are getting chastised, they getting rammed out their houses, they getting beheaded, they getting martyred. The Lord said, then will you always be able to know who my chosen are. Because why? And they shall be tried as gold in the fire. Hear, O ye my beloved, said Yahweh, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. So just keep that in mind, family. You know what I'm saying? This is why these things is happening, and this is why we bringing these things up, because why? The Lord said these things are going to happen again. You know what I'm saying? Jacob's trouble continue to happen throughout time, but we are the ones that the Lord said in the last days before we get delivered are going to have another Jacob's trouble, which will never be as if no time on earth. It'll never be a time on earth that the way Jacob's trouble finna get hit hard like it's going to be hit on us today, man. So as that, we got to read these things. We got to look into these articles, and we have to prepare ourselves. Man, you got it, bro.
Hey, that's right. That's right, man. So I want to this next precept is going to tie into what the brother was just talking about, man. Mighty points. Right. So finding these tabs. All right, yeah. So like the brother was saying though, you know, we gonna go through. It's set that, you know, we gonna have to go through persecutions and things like that, and that's why we have these accounts of our forefathers and what they did during those times when it was faced with persecution, when it was faced with adversity. What did they do? Right. So I'm gonna get this in the book of 2 Maccabees chapter 6, and I'm gonna go to we'll start at verse 24. It says, "For it becometh not our age," said he, "in any wise to disassemble, whereby many young persons might think that Eleazar, being 80 years old and 10, were now going to a strange religion." So when it comes down to it, to the persecution, to being folded, to being presented with an opportunity to fold, right? And they present you to do something that's against the laws, that's commandments, right? We can't fold. We can't go to a strange religion. What's a strange religion? Anything that's contrary to the Bible, to this truth, is strange religion. If they force you to try to do those things, right, you don't want to fold and move like that. But let me keep going. It says, "And so they through mind hypocrisy and desire to live a little time in a moment longer." Right? So you don't want to sit there and think you getting ahead because you can live another day, because you can live 10 more days, or an extra month, or an extra year. Esau said, "Hey man, you know what? Boom. All you gotta do is go ahead and do blah, 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 blah." And he's like, "Yeah, with that, man, we're gonna give you freedom. You ain't gotta worry about us beheading your family no more. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna tie your kids and all that, and we're gonna set y'all on this own little plot of land. You good, you straight, right?" I'm gonna keep going. It says, "You desire just to live more long," it says, "should be deceived by me, and I get a stain for my old age and make it abominable. For though the present time I should be delivered from my punishment of men." Right? So then, just like that martyr, right? For a moment, he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm delivered from my punishment of men. My brothers, they out there, you know what I'm saying? Them Negroes out there, they freeze to death, man. I'm finna go hop in this cauldron, man, and get warm, right? Or you can be you. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be that person, man. I see my brothers I was online with, and I seen them boys getting they about to get beheaded next, but I ain't doing that. I'm finna give up." Esau, he got it. He win. I'm done with this truth, right? And you start tearing your friends off your shirt. Say, "I get his up, man," right? It says, "For though the present time I should be delivered for punishment of men, yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive or dead." So yeah, you can escape the punishment of men. You can probably get away for a moment. You can probably live a little bit later, but you cannot escape the hand of the Most High God. And the Lord will destroy you, right? He will. Let me get a precept, another precept to add to that, man. You got to understand that you can't escape the Most High. He said, "Neither alive or dead." The Most High, He the only, and that draws back to Matthew chapter 10 and verse 28. He the only one. He can hunt you down after you dead. Nobody, no other man, no other thing could do that. But the Most High, even after you done gave up the ghost, the Most High can still come after you. He still can punish you. He can still cast judgment upon you, right? Understand that, right? Let me get this. This is one of my precepts that I like to bring out sometimes, and right here in Psalm chapter 50 and verse 22, right? The book of Psalm chapter 50 and verse 22. It says, "Now consider this, you that forget God, lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver, none be delivered." So, I want to see if I can get this. I had read it in the NLT one time, so like it. This is it right here. It says this Psalms 50 and 22 in the NLT. It says, "Repent all of you who forget me, or I will tear you apart, and no one will help you." No one can help you if the Most High want to destroy you. You might can get some help, but Esau want to destroy you. You might get somebody kind of break you out, right? You might get somebody kind of, bop Esau on the head, and you kind of find a way to escape or something. Something happen. But when it comes to the Most High, if He wants you, He gonna get you, and there's nobody can help you. So in the time that's to come, that's when you build your faith to understand, well, hey, what man can do to me is nothing compared to what the Most High can do to me. What the Most High can do is it's on a whole other level. So just we gotta understand and kind of think on that. But like the brother is saying, it's set. The vision's already set, right? And you look at our forefathers, the men of old, how they went through, how they was going through persecution, right? The same thing is to be said. And he brought out some beautiful precepts, and I want to bring out this precept too. In the book of let me see. Make sure this precept let me see. Oh, let me get it. And I gotta change it back over. KJV. All right, so I'm gonna read verse. We know the classic Zechariah chapter 8 and verse 9, but I'm gonna read verse 10. It says, Slocky, no, that's the point I'm saying. It says, for thus says the Lord of hosts, let your no, is that? No, that's not the precept I'm looking for.
Which one are you looking for?
What it was saying, the two parts, 2/3 gonna be destroyed.
Nah, you in the wrong book. Zechariah, that's 13 and 8. It's Zechariah 13 and 8.
Con 13 and 8. That's what it is. 13 and 8. The Water King. Con. The book of Zechariah chapter 13. I'm gonna go to verse 9. That's what I want. Verse 9. It says, and I will bring the third part through the fire and refine them as silver is refined. So understand, the elect, the 1/3, they're gonna go through fire. They're gonna go through tribulation. That's just how it is, right? So if you say, I want to be the elect, I want to be a part of 144K, I want to have rulership in the kingdom. Understand that you got to go through fire to get that. You're gonna have to go through persecution to get that, and you might have to be a martyr to get that. That might be your only way to get that ticket is by you have to lay down your life for the Lord. That might be your ticket, your shot, right? But understand you might be presented with that, right? But so what we was talking about in the article, right? The guy, you know what I'm saying? He sought to live a little bit longer, right? He thought to, like, man, I'm not built for this anymore. These guys tripping. I can't do this no more. And so what he did, he ended up, boom. He said, I can't do this. I'm hopping in this thing, right? Just hopping in this culture, and he ended up dying, right? So that's what happened to him, right? Now this is we was reading the article in the early church history, and I'm gonna read. I want to continue on this article when he kind of went into with the guy. He jumped into the cauldron and he immediately was unalive, and then I'm gonna go back to the one from the early church history. So it says one of the guards, Aglas, was set to keep watch over the martyrs and beheld at this moment a supernatural brilliancy overshadowing them. He at once proclaimed himself a Christian, right? Saying, hey, I believe in Hamashiach, you know what I'm saying? I'm in this truth. Threw off his garments and joined the remaining 39. Thus the number of 40 remained complete at daybreak, right? So, and that's when you read the article that we had brought out with the Russian icons, why I said 40, no 39, no 40. Because at one point in time it was 40, then it was 39 because somebody said, hey, I don't want to do this no more. Then it went back to 40, right? Because one of the guards ended up joining them, right? He ended up seeing what these men was doing, right? Because he seen their example and how they was manfully down for the Lord, right? He joined, he said, I'm gonna do it too, right? And that's a beautiful thing within itself. So I'm gonna go to this. It says, now I'm back at this article. Wait, is my let me know my screen showing though. It's showing King. Let me see. It should be showing. Yeah, it should be showing. Okay, come. Yeah, it's showing. Okay, I see it. All right, so we're going back to this article. So it said he threw off his clothes, and this is where we at. Back at them, I'm at this little paragraph right here, y'all. So it says, I'm gonna read from the top so y'all can get the gist. It said a sentinel was warming himself near the bath while he was attending. He had a vision of blessed spirits descending from heaven on the martyrs, right? And that those spirits, angels, right? So this man probably seen the angels descending, right? It says the guard being struck with the celestial vision, and the apostate's desertion was converted, right, threw off his clothes, right, and placed himself and I want y'all to think about that. This precept comes to mind too, right? Salakia. I hate when I do that, man. I hate when I do that. I don't know what's going on with my joints. Anyways, so I'm gonna show y'all this though. It's a precept when you go into Ezekiel, and it tells you about, you know, let me get this. It says right here. I'm gonna jump down. Hold on, I'm gonna go to verse 33. Ezekiel 33. Right? It tells you about when a man he lived his whole life. If he lived his whole life, right, and he end up dying, he end up turning back, he gonna be remembered for his righteousness. So he lived his whole life as a wicked man, and he end up getting unalive, right? He lived his whole life as a wicked man, but he end up at the end of his life turning to the Most High, right, and repenting. He gonna remember for his good acts, right? But then you have somebody that I'm just read it, but you know, you have somebody that they live their whole life being a righteous man, and then they end up being wicked. They gonna be remembered for their wickedness. So I'm gonna go into it, but it's Ezekiel 33 and verse 12. It says, therefore, thou son of man, say unto the children of thy people, the righteousness of the righteous shall not deliver him in the day of his transgression. As for the wickedness of the wicked, he shall not fall thereby in the day that he turneth from his wickedness. Neither shall the righteous be able to live for his righteousness in the day that he sinneth. So you can be in this truth you can be in the truth 10 plus years, 20 years, 30 years, whatever, right? But if you end up deciding to go back into the world, to go back and to do or commit wickedness, the Lord said, man, you're not going to be able to live for your righteousness. You're not going to be able to get the kingdom because you went the hell off when the Most High needed you not to do it. When it was time for you to be righteous, you weren't righteous. You decided to be evil and wicked, right? You decided to fold, right? That's just like what Eliezer was talking about. Why after all these years would I go to a strange religion? After all these years, turn my back on the Most High. After all these camps that I've been a part of, after all these new moons that I done kept, after all these feast days, these Passovers, after all this, I turn my back on the Lord, right? That's what it's saying. It says, when I shall say to the righteous that he shall surely live, if he trust in his own righteousness and commit iniquity. So you might be like, man, dang, man, for the most part, I was keeping the commandments. I was being on fire. I was reading. You know what I'm saying? I did keep the Sabbath whole, man. I was wearing my fringes. You know what I'm saying? Boom, man. What's it to me if I just decide to just eat this pork now? You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only way Esau gonna let me go. That's the only way he gonna let my family go if I do it now. I mean, for until this came, I was righteous though. I was doing right though. It says all his righteousness shall not be remembered. So all that work you done put in, all them classes you done put together, all the exhortations and counsels and charity that you done put in, all that was all a waste. Because you decided to give in. You decided to give in to lust. You decided to give in to the ways of the oppressor. we start talking sweet to you, just like he was doing them. Hey man, if y'all do this, man, we got a warm bath for you, right? Or with Eleazar, right? Hey man, all you gotta do is just eat what's lawful for you, man. You gonna be straight. Just act like it was pork. Or what about in 2 Maccabees chapter 7? When he came to the youngest son, he would say, man, I'm gonna make oaths with you. You're gonna be a rich man. You're gonna be part of my team. I got you, bro. And you're like, yeah, that sounds kind of good, man. I did for the most part. I kept it, man, most time. And then you give in. The Lord say you're not gonna be remembered for that. All that is done. It was all a waste. It was all a waste. But yet, you keep reading. It says, all this righteousness shall not be remembered. But for his iniquity that he had committed, he shall die for it. He said, man, for that iniquity, for that time, all that work you done put in, and you decide to turn your back on the Lord. You decide to fold at the last hour. Y'all know we in the fourth quarter right now. Don't fold in the last hour. When persecution comes, don't fold. But pray that you don't fold. We can say that. Like, I know I ain't gonna fold, but pray that, hey, Lord, put that spirit in you for don't fold. Because if you fold in the last hour, you give in, then you're gonna be just like that guy, right? That guy that said, hey, I said, hell with this, I'm jumping inside this thing. These niggas gonna freeze on that lake, not me. He said you should die for it. You're gonna die for your iniquity. Because they're gonna come down, so they're gonna ask you, right? Are you gonna renounce the name of the Lord? Are you gonna do this? Are you gonna do that? Turn back on the Lord. And if you do it, hey, you're gonna get God for that. I'm gonna keep reading. It says again, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die. If he turn from his sin and do that which is lawful and right, if the wicked restore the pledge, give again that he had robbed, walk in statutes of life without committing iniquity, he shall surely live, he shall not die. So the point of me breaking this out is this guy, right? One of the guards, he decided, he said, man, you know what, man? I seen what happened. I seen what y'all doing. I'm with it. I want to die for the Lord too. I want to join y'all. And though he may live his life as a wicked man, he ended up being a martyr for the Lord, right? And what happens when you end up dying for the Lord? We talked about that previously. And you get that crown. You get that golden ticket, right? You get that golden ticket. So, needless to say, y'all get what I'm putting down, right? Don't be that guy that lives your life in its truth. You put in all this work to fold in the last hour, to give up in the last hour, right? Because if you do, somebody easily could take your spot.
Hey, real quick, bro, get the book of Matthew chapter 13 real quick, because this goes into another point. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's about evolving in the truth, right? Growing and planning, right? You know what I'm saying? Deciding what you're going to build your house on, right? Your spiritual house, what you're going to build it on, right? Real quick, before you get that, hold this, pull up another tab and get Proverbs 24 and verse 27. Right? So watch this. Give me this in Proverbs 24 and 27, because a lot of brothers and sisters don't. The importance of these type of history, right, is for one, to increase our faith, to show us our history throughout time, and how they try to use word games to make you not realize the comparisons of, hey, these are the same people, right? So watch this, verse 27.
God, 27. I got you.
Yeah.
God,
So watch this. Read that.
It says the Proverbs 24 and verse 27.
Right.
Prepare thy work without.
Right.
And make it fit for thyself in the field.
So prepare your work and make it fit for thyself in the field. Read.
And afterwards build thine house.
Now go up there and change it to NLT, and let's see what it says in the NLT, right? Because sometimes you gotta apply these type of precepts to your life, man, right? And because certain brothers, even when we read about this brother who lost faith and waxed weak, you know what I'm saying, in the last second, right? This brother, what was his foundation on? Because if you had a true foundation on your Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, hey, brother would have been like, man, hey, I'm taking this, I'm riding out to death. You know what I'm saying? Watch this. Read that.
God. This Proverbs 24 and verse 27 in the NLT. Do your planning and prepare your fields.
So it say, do your planning and prepare your fields, meaning what? When we first come into this truth, man, plan things out. When you planning to build something, you want to know what's the good wood, what's the bad wood. If you planting a garden, you want to know what's good soil for your garden or what's bad soil that'll mess up your garden. So when they say do your planning, figure out what's good for your spirit. Figure out what areas you want to fix on in your spirit, read.
God, before building your house.
Before you build your spiritual house up, right? You want to make sure the foundation of your house is what is good to go, right? Now let's go back to Matthew, right?
God, Matthew 13 and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
What you want in Matthew 13 and
start at verse 3.
Verse 3, kind I got you. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 13, verse 3. And he spake many things unto them in parables, saying, Behold, a sower went forth to sow.
Right.
And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls came up and devoured them up.
Right.
Some fell upon stony places where they had not much earth,
right.
And for which they sprung up, because they had no deepness of earth.
Right.
And when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered away.
So when brothers don't have no root in this truth, right? You don't got no true solid foundation in this truth. He said, what? You're going to get rooted up and you're going to get withered away. Your spirit will fly away. Or that faith of that foundation you have will fly away. Now, go back to Proverbs chapter 24, read in the King James Version and go to verse 31. Change it back and I read verse 31, right? I'm going to show you something. We're going into this same thing. We just read about the brother with the thorns in his foundation, right? Watch this, verse 30.
Verse 30, it says, Proverbs 24 and 30, I went by the field of the slothful.
So I went by the field of the brother who prepared his work on this slothful field. This brother who was slothful in spirit, I went by to check out his field, right? Read.
And by the vineyard of the man void of understanding.
Because why? The man void of understanding didn't take time to study the scriptures, study how to overcome your fear. When persecution come upon you, study how your fear to come over with sins or whatever demon or devices you might battle, right? Read.
And lo, it was all grown over with thorns.
Right.
And nettles had covered the face thereof.
Read.
And the stone wall thereof was broken down.
And the foundation of that man's house or his field was broken down. Read.
Then I saw and considered it well. I looked upon it and received instruction.
Right. So now go back. So now you understand, bro. A brother who has his foundation get blossomed up with thorns and stuff. Read that part again.
In Matthew?
Verse 5. Yep, Matthew 13, verse 5.
It says, some fell upon stony places.
So think about it. Remember, hold on. Remember in Proverbs, we just read about how it said the stone fell through, right? Because why? Brothers was slothful, right? Read.
Where they had not much earth.
What earth is talking about? More dirt, no good soil, right? Read.
And for which they sprung up, because they had no deepness of earth.
So it didn't have no root in the earth, read. It's when they say that.
And when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered away.
Right. Now keep going.
And some fell among thorns.
In this same aspect, them brothers who were slothful, lack of understanding and wisdom of the scriptures, read.
And the thorns sprung up and choked them.
And all the thorns that you might have in your spiritual walk because you're not studying, you're not examining yourself, you're not taking time to get built up in the spirit, so certain things can come up and choke your spirit, right? Read.
But other fell into good ground and brought forth fruit, some with 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 30-fold,
and some with 30-fold. So this is the good ground to what? When you go back to Proverbs 20:4 and 27, right? And before you go back over there real quick on this, and give me the book of Luke chapter 14 verse 28, right? So you got to think about what type of spiritual house you building, because when we read in this article about you had these mighty brothers who got martyred in Sebaste in Samaria, right? But then you got this one Negro with fear at the last minute. Oh, I can't do it. I can't do it. you know what I'm saying, and gave up, right? Watch this. Start at verse 27.
Verse 27. The book of Luke, chapter 14, verse 27. Whosoever doth not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple.
So we got to bear our own cross and follow Yahushua. The same way Yahushua went through persecution and died for Israel, we got to be that same way. We got to build our spirit up to be on that same type of time, right? Read.
For which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first and counteth the cost? What do he have? What do he have sufficient to finish it?
What we just read about this at? Didn't Solomon just tell us this in Proverbs 24 and 27? You know what I'm saying? Make a plan. Prepare thy work that's fitted for thee. Then go build your house, right? Read.
Lest happily, after he have laid the foundation and is not able to finish, all that behold it begin to mock him.
And people who what? When you go back into that letter of Sebaste, man, you know what I'm saying? You don't think when people heard that they mocked him, or when you even read about it now, I don't want to be like that, man. I don't want to be like him. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to go and ride this thing out till the wheels fall off, right? Read.
Saying this man began to build.
You begin to build your faith, your foundation on your house, but then when the persecution come, you know what I'm saying? You find out you didn't build your foundation on good sand, good soil. And what? Read.
And was not able to finish.
And you're not able to finish out your calling in your life, man, because you weren't rooted, right? So, hey, you brothers and sisters got to keep that in mind, man. You got to prepare yourself for this work. You got to make sure you establishing your seed on good ground. You establishing your spiritual house, which is your temple, on what? On a good foundation, not just no rocky foundation, not on no sand, because you don't want water or trials or oppression to come through and wash your foundation off, man, and your spirit wither off in the wind somewhere, or fear causes you to jump out the window. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind and use this brother that we reading about in the 40 martyrs of Sebaste as an example of this is the reason why I got to build my spirit up. This is the reason why I have to increase my faith, right? One more precept, and I'm going to give it back to you. Give me the book of Romans chapter 1, verse 16. Because Christians love this verse, man, and breaking it down wrong, strong and wrong. You know what I'm saying? Read this.
The book of Romans chapter 1, verse 16.
Right, so hold on, verse 15 first, right? Because you think about it, what was going on in Rome? After a while, it was persecution going on in the Roman church of the Israelites, right? Watch this.
Verse 15. So as much as in me is, I am ready to preach the gospel to you that are at Rome also.
So who was Paul talking to? The Christians of the Israelites who were in Rome, the followers of Christ in Rome, right? Read.
For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Mashiach.
So Salaki, why did he have to say I am not ashamed of the gospel of the Mashiach? Because brothers was getting persecuted for these teachings, man. For this so-called doctrine that they held, brothers was getting persecuted for it. Read.
It just tripped out. Okay. It says, for I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Mashiach, for it is the power of God unto salvation to everyone that believeth, to the Jew first,
right,
and also to the Greek.
Right. So you got to keep that in mind. And no, that's not talking about your friendly neighborhood white man. The Greeks there is talking about those of Israelites who were Hellenized. You know what I'm saying? The Hellenized of the Israelites, and also the northern kingdom as well. It's not talking about no goddamn Becky and Earl. You know what I'm saying? But you got it, bro.
Hold on, can you still talking, King?
No, I say you got it.
Oh, okay. It kind of had went out for a second. So I'll just Let's go back to what was that? Hey, brother, bringing out some mighty points though, man. A mighty beautiful through the spirit, right? So and I see brothers in the comment board, brothers bringing out mighty precepts. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, put the other comment. It's a beautiful precept from my brother Aaron, but put this the comment about Murphy's Law, what he put on there, because that goes into what we were just talking about, right? If you're not evolving and constantly becoming more righteous day by day, then you're just taking up space an unalive weight. And if you know what you know what I'm saying? So that's why in this truth, man, take these accounts, take this history and use it to evolve yourself. Don't just stay complacent in the same old local joker, because guess what? Eventually, that same old local joker gonna get caught lacking, man, and you're gonna get moved out the way. But you got it, brother.
That's right. That's right, though. That's right. That's right. That's right. Hey, all praise the Most High for the brothers hopping in on the comment section, man. So we gonna go back to what we was at, and we almost, saying at the end of this thing. So it says we at right here. It was at this is a section that I'm at. If y'all, I'm at right here. But it says threw off his clothes and placed himself in the stead amongst the 39 martyrs. In the morning, the judge ordered both those that were dead with the cold and those that were still alive to be laid on carriages and cast into a fire. Their bodies were burnt and their ashes thrown into the river, but the Christians secretly carried off or purchased part of them with money. The unlives of the 40 martyrs have attracted veneration and artistic representation from the time of their martyrdoms until present day. That's it on that. That's on that. So y'all get the gist of what we was going to. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, King. Hold on, real quick. Before you take it off of this, right? I want to read something before you take it off of this. You see what your mouth said about that building, that sculpture, right? That picture. Read what that article says right there, where it says the death.
Okay. The deaths of the 40 martyrs have attracted veneration and artistic representation from the time of their martyrdoms until the present day. These very young men, only one was married, and their icy deaths was the last famous mass martyrdom of Christians.
Stop right there. It says that their death was the last famous martyrdom of Christians, right? Watch this, man. So when you think about this, right? They said this was the last famous martyrdom of the Christians. So what are they saying? In history of time, what happened after this, right? What happened later on in years in line after this, right? When you go into the 500s AD, what happened? The Roman Empire eventually got what? Overthrown, right? And who took over? You got to think about these things, right? But they said these were the last famous mass martyrdoms of Christians. So, you know what I'm saying? When it says these were the last, you got to think about the beginning of the martyrdom of the Christians during the time of the apostles, when they started the Acts of the Apostles, right? All the way up into Revelation, to the death of, John the Revelator getting imprisoned. You know what I'm saying? Paul and Peter getting beheaded and killed by Nero. You know what I'm saying? So when you think of these things, bro, when did the persecution or the mass martyrdoms of the Israelites gonna come into effect again? In these last days, man, everything written has to be fulfilled. So just keep that in mind. I just wanted to bring out that point because it said these things attracted veneration and artistic representation. So Esau likes to take these things, pay them, put their twist on it, and then put it out there for the masses because it is a historical thing to know about. But also what? They dumb it down and whitewash it so that what? You don't understand and realize that, hey, you the same people that got martyred. And in the days to come, y'all who professing to know who the Lord is, you know what I'm saying? We're going to do the same thing with y'all. Real quick, go to Revelations 12:18 real quick. And I'm going to pass it back to you. Revelations 12:18, because, man, there's nothing new under the sun. Didn't we bring that out earlier? So when you think about it, ain't nothing new under the sun. Verse 17, right? Verse 17, my bad. Read that, King.
The book of Revelation chapter 12, verse 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman.
So this same dragon is the same people during this time. Why you think John the Revelator is writing this in a parable type form, right? Who was the dragon at this time? The Roman Empire, right? Read.
And went to make war with the remnant of her seed,
right?
Which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach.
So who was those people that had the testimony of Yahweh Shah during the time of the apostles? The Israelites, they were the ones that deemed as Christians because they had the testimony of Yahushua. And what was his testimony? That he came to die for the nation of Israel. So, just keep that in mind. Go ahead, Ken. You got it.
God. Hey, that's right. That's right, man. That's right. I'll praise him on side. And I'm gonna go to Revelation chapter 17 and verse number 6. Right. So this thing is it's coming up, man. Like the brother was saying, man. That was the last famous one. How much so the next one that's to come, right? But it's Revelation 6:17-6 says, and I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. When I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. Right. So it says the woman, she was drunk. We know that the woman is that great whore Babylon. Right. It says she was drunken with the blood of the saints, with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. So you're gonna have people that their blood is gonna get spilled for this truth. Right. Their blood gonna get spilled, right, for Yahushua. Right. It's set in stone. Right. And I want to get this precept in the book of Psalms chapter 116 and verse 5, right? Because understand that's a beautiful thing, right, to do for the Lord, man. It's a very beautiful thing to do. It's the book of Psalms 15. I'm looking up. Psalms 116 and 15 says, precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints. So that's a precious thing, right? For the saints, right? To give their lives for the Lord. That's a precious thing, right? So that's something to definitely to meditate on, right? I don't know if the brother had anything else that he want to kind of bring out through the spirit. Let me see. Let me get this off. Hey, King. All right, so I'm gonna get another precept. Just so we can just understand again that these things is set to happen, man. It's set to go down, man. But it's like, dang, you know what I'm saying? What you gonna do during those times, right? Are you gonna stand 10 toes down for the Lord? Right. Let me get this in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, right? The Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3 and 5, right? I don't know why this is doing it. Some of these tabs is acting up, but I'm gonna get this right quick. This one right quick. 3 and 5. The book with Psalm chapter 3, verse 5. It says, "And having been a little chastised," right? I'm gonna read this. For though they be I'm gonna read verse 4. Verse 4 says, "For though they be punished in the sight of men," right? So you gonna have some people that's gonna get punished in the sight of men, right? Getting tortured in the sight of men, being put on a guillotine in the sight of men, right? Yet is their hope full of immortality, right? But our hope is in immortality. Our hope is in the kingdom. Our hope is in Yahweh from Yahweh. Even though we might get persecuted from the men, we might get tortured, we might get put to death, right? But our hope gotta continue to be with Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. For Yahweh proved them and found them worthy for himself. Right? So you might go through a little bit of chastisement, you might go through that punishment, you might be put to death, whatever it may be. It says, but it said they shall be greatly rewarded, but there's a reward to come. Right? And it kind of the martyrs, they understood that, right? That they was going to see that crown, those jewels, right? That crown of life, right? So I think we gonna close out with another precept. I'm gonna get another precept. I'm gonna continue reading on this, then I'm gonna get a closing precept. It says, "As gold in the furnace have he tried them and received them as a burnt offering." Right. So understand this too. You know what I'm saying? It always speaks about the elect, right, being put through that fire, being put through that trials and tribulations, as it said in Zechariah chapter 13, verse 9, right? And I'm gonna get this in Matthew 24. No, I'm gonna get this in Revelation 10, 2 and 10. Right? As a reminder. Revelation 2 and 10. I'm gonna keep on this tab. The book of Revelation, chapter 2. Bear with me, it's loading up. It's just a little slow. Okay. Revelation 2 and 10. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Right? So Lord say, amen, be faithful unto death. Right? So the moral of the story is, amen, be faithful unto death. Right? Whatever persecutions or trials, tribulations come to your way, amen, be faithful unto death. Right? Because we trying to get that crown of life. Right? We try. Who don't want to get to the kingdom? Who don't want to be rulers over cities? Right? Who don't want that? What you got to do to get that? Right? You got to be faithful unto death. Right? So Lord willing, this class was edifying through the Spirit. Right? These are different precepts that brothers have brought out. Mighty beautiful precepts. Right? So Lord willing, that was edifying through the Spirit. And if you had anything, King, you got it. If you want to
come. Yeah, there's some closing precepts, right? So let me see. Let me share the screen real quick, so I don't have you going all over the place. All right, so let's get this real quick. Can you see it, King?
it's up, King.
All right, so let's read this real quick, right? So it says, this is the book of Revelations, chapter 22 and verse number 6. And it reads, and he said unto me, these sayings are faithful and true. And the Lord Yahweh of the holy prophets sent his angel to show unto his servants things which must shortly be done. Watch this. It says, behold, I come quickly. Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecy of this book. So what we are telling our brothers is, bro and sisters, amen, blessed are those that are going to keep the prophecy and the sayings of this book. Everything that this Bible is prophesying that's going to come to pass, man. It's going to come to pass. Prepare yourself for it. And the Bible says you're going to be deemed blessed if you can continue to keep the sayings of this book. Keep the sayings of these prophecies of the things that's supposed to happen to the children of Israel, right? You know what I'm saying? Watch this. Let me keep going. So, and this is what you want to realize, right? This is the final message. This is why when you look at all the Israelites who prophesying day in, day out, week in and week out, we warning our people and exhorting our people to repent, strengthen your faith, strengthen your zeal, do the work, because this is the final message of the Bible. This is the book of Revelation 22 and 10. And he saith unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. So when you look at the prophecies, when you see what's going on in the world, you know what I'm saying? I want to bring up some videos that I seen today of, you know, our favorite man in office. You know what I'm saying? Hey, stirring stuff up in the office, man. But, you know, we're going to say that for another topic. But this is what you want to realize, bro. This is what Yahweh is saying. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. Brothers who not being righteous, he said, if you know you still being righteous and you raving on the fence, you choose now in the last day to want to just smoke weed, party with women, shave your beard off, shave your mustache, you know what I'm saying, play 2K on the Sabbath. He said, let that man be unjust still. And he which is filthy, you brothers and sisters who filthy out here, you know what I'm saying? You going back into adultery, you eating unclean animals. He say, stay over there. You know what I'm saying? Brothers who having sex with their ribs on their menstrual, stay over there. Stay filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, him that is separate, let him be holy still. You know what I'm saying? And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. You know what I'm saying? So it says, I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates into the city. So with that, you know what I'm saying? Keep those things in mind. I'm gonna end it off with my favorite precept that always keep me rooted and molded whenever I bring out the word. You know what I'm saying? Book of Revelations, chapter 3 and verse 2. Let me see, do I want it like this? Yep. All right, this is the book of Revelations 3 and 2. And it's in the NLT. I like it worded. I like the way it's worded here, right? It says, wake up. You know what I'm saying? You brothers who sleeping in slumber, being slothful. He say, wake up. Strengthen what little remains. For even what is left is almost dead. I find that your actions do not meet the requirements of my God. So each and every day you waking up, man, we enduring in these last days. You got to realize there's still certain things about you that don't meet the requirements of the Most High. So what you should be doing? Going harder and harder and harder, exhorting yourself to the most of your strength. Like Sirach 43 and 30 say, right? It says in verse 3, go back to what you heard and believed at first. When you first came into this truth, man, you believed the Bible. When you read Deuteronomy 28, 6 to 8, you believed the Bible. When you found out that Yahweh was a black man, you believed the Bible. Your zeal was through the roof. He said, go back to that and believe that, right? Hold to it firmly. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nothing move you out the way. Repent and turn to me again. If you don't wake up, I will come to you suddenly as an unexpected thief. And if you know, you know, you're going to get unalived in that day, right? So just keep that in mind, Israel. You know what I'm saying? Hey, there was a beautiful historical moment for y'all. Hopefully, brothers and sisters understood. You know what I'm saying? The 40 martyrs at Sebaste or Samaria were the 40 martyrs of Israelites. You know what I'm saying? They term us as Christians there because during that time in Rome, the Israelites are the ones that followed Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? And we showed you the history of persecution when it first began there with the Christians or the Israelites, all the way up into Nero, all the way up into Constantine, wanting to make the Christian faith a part of the Roman customs in their chief main religion. That's where you get Roman Catholicism at today, man. So with that, we pray brothers and sisters was edified. Brothers and sisters have a mighty Shabbat. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, most high willing, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have more history time with the servants, man. You know what I'm saying? We got a little bit more history cooking up than we're going to bring out. Hey, stay tuned. We're going to have a Sabbath premiere tomorrow at 1 p.m., most high willing. You know, we're going to try to keep Sabbath classes rolling. Hey, continue to like, share, and subscribe to the video. We have weekly lives throughout the week. The brother Ahlayah be diligent throughout the week. I try to get in there myself. Hey, man, help us push this truth and spread this gospel to the four corners while we still have chance. And, hey, man, study, get your mind right, get your spirit right, reflect on the word of God, get your, you know, prepare yourself for the things to come. And, hey, man, let's get the kingdom, Israel. So with that, you know what I'm saying? We also, you know, got a school in Conyers, Georgia. Hey, man, reach out to us and come fellowship, man. Come build with your brothers. Come get built up. Come get your questions answered. And hey, man, let's fulfill the prophecies together through the spirit. With that, that's all I got, man. You know what I'm saying? It's your brother Eli with the servants. Shalom.
Khan, Shalom. Kwame Shalom.
Kwame Shalom.